Okay everybody, this is what's happening on today's SHOJO Sunday. I'm gonna look at like a few series I've been watching and enjoying as well. I'll be like talking about that to start with. So I've been recently introduced to You and I Are Polar Opposites, which I would recommend. The dynamic between Suzuki and the other male character, I really like their like dynamic. So You and I Are Polar Opposites, there's also that relationship, but there's also like other relationships that are in between, full like within like shoujo romance. So there's that. There's also the Remnants of Ice, which I still need to eventually check out. But I read a little bit of the manga and it's really good. It's made by the same person who made the You and I Are Polar Opposites. And that's really my main sort of shoujo anime / manga I'm getting into at the moment. Now, the main topic. You're wondering why I'm in Nagisa cosplay? I haven't got an Angel Beats cosplay yet. It's because we're covering Angel Beats and I wanna like do like a feelsy episode for August. I mean, I did it with Your Line April last year and I also did it with, I think, Clanad. So the next one that's kind of feelsy is Angel Beats. So with Angel Beats, it's more of a visual novel series as well as it says it's a drama / slice of life. So there's that. But there's a little bit of fantasy involved. It's sort of like based in this like heaven, but the heaven's more a high school. So the heaven is more like high school based. It is more feelsy, but there is a lot of shoujo romance within the series itself. There is a lot of relationships and relationship dynamics, that kind of thing, and there is a lot of death. But there's like, you can't die in the high school. Like, you can't actually like physically die. It's one of those ones where you're like, you can't take like any bullet, or like you can't like, you just like, get like reset. It's a bit like No Game No Life kind of in a way, but I would cover that one year, but it's a little bit kind of complex, but you get what I mean. Also, Angel Beats is more of a visual novel as well. It does have a game where I think you like date the characters, from what I remember. So there is like a dating sim based game on I can't remember what platform it was. Might be PlayStation. It might be PlayStation, but I might come back to it. So it's sort of dating novels, sort of. So you play as Yuzuru. So you play as Yuzuru. So it's like a high school heaven where he just like wakes up. He doesn't know where he is. He's a little bit confused. He doesn't know whether he's died or not. Yes, he's died. But there's normally, and then the first sort of like episode where it introduces Yuzuru and the SSS squad. The SSS squad, they're trying to hunt an angel down because the angel had like properties to like a weapon. So So the angel sort of like had like properties to a weapon, which is, so the angel is Canaday. She's really cute. She's got a really cute design. The SSS are led by a girl called Yuki Nakamura. But Canaday is one of the angels. Well, she was the like main sort of angel. She was a part of their group, but then she started distancing herself from the group, and then she started becoming like an angel like halfway through like the ceremony, if that makes sense. Then you've got Misaki Iwasawa. She was like the main sort of like founder of the band, but she ends up going missing. She was like the lead guitarist and like the vocal sort of group, but she was like part of the SS squad, but she ends up going missing. I think it's like based like on her like real sort of story before she like passed, but you get what I mean. There's Hinase Hideki, who was a baseball player and who was in charge of like the baseball team at the school. He's just a really funny character. He was one of my favourites as a kid. So like this guy, he was a bit of a goof, but everybody loved him. And I think he's voiced by the same guy who played Usui from Maid Summer, actually, in the dub. Yeah, he's played by Usui. It's David. I think his name was David. Can't remember his last name. It began with an M. But he voiced Usui and Hideka. No, not Hideka. Hideki. We got Oyuma, a really simple person that's alive. There was Yui Yoshika, who was a part of the band. So Yui's story is really sad and a little bit sentimental. It probably does hit home for a lot of chronic and disabled people out there. With Yui's story, I cried a lot when I was a kid. And I think I still cry about it now because they had like one last baseball game before Yui decided to reincarnate herself, and it's just really sad. So you do have like two options within like the school. You either stay in the school for a bit of a period of time, or you get the option to reincarnate, or you don't come back after your death. Some people don't come back, some people do. Yuki also likes to self traps for the classmates, which I just find really funny and hilarious. So it'll be like on like a meme compilation, and one of the students has like an eject chair button that just goes straight up, bashes into the top of the wall, and just goes down slightly. But it's like if you break the rules of class, you get a trap set off, and it's just that bit's funny to me. Whereas there's some other feelsy moments as well. With Yui and Hideki having one last baseball match, that I still cry about it. I like try not to cry about it, but like Yui and Hideki's like the final baseball match just like hit it home for me, and very feelsy. It was just like a lot of sad deaths. And they also have like a little walk with her in the wheelchair, and I just think it's really sentimental and really cute. Told you this was going to be feelsy today. Now, towards the end of the series, bear in mind, I have to warn everybody that the series itself is a really short series. I think it's like 13 episodes? Yeah, 13 episodes in total of just Yuzuru trying to get through high school life as a student who's living within the high school that is heaven. Sorry, hiccuping. But the high school that there is like different stories and stuff, and all the stories within the high school and like what people's lives were like before they came to the heaven high school, were they all had like very different base stories, and Kanade and Yuzuru end up getting closer and closer together, but Yuki gives them a warning to say, just like, keep your distance to yourself. But Yuzuru sort of doesn't listen, and he ends up taking the fall for Kanade in the end. But I sort of love the dynamic between Kanade and Yuzuru. Like, I feel like they are a really sweet couple, and I really like the dynamic and like how they made friends, and just I have a lot of feelings for Kanade and Yuzuru as like an anime based sort of watcher. I haven't played the visual novels yet. I have yet to play the visual novel of this series. Same again with Clannad. So with Clannad, again, visual novel series. I have yet to explore that, and same with the Angel Beats series. I don't know whether it's on eShop or not, but I've got to check that out soon. I just really love and adore Kanade and Yuzuru's friendship and relationship throughout the thing. At first, they are strangers, but as time goes on, there is a lot of development, and I really like their dynamic. Would I recommend this series? If you're a beginner, possibly yes, but bring tissues, because it is some of the deaths are very emotional out there. So yeah, bring tissues. I would recommend the dub. I find the dub more funnier than the sub. Like the dub just like has it out for him, and I just think it's funnier in the dub, and obviously Hideki is a really funny character to like relate to. But the series overall gave me a lot of nostalgia from my high school years, and this, alongside Clannad, I would put on the very feelsy sort of seasons in regards to shoujo anime, even though it's technically visual novel based. But I did say I would cover visual novels within the shoujo sort of category, if that makes sense. But it gives me a lot of nostalgia. A 7 out of 10 for overall. I did watch the sub when I was younger. That is funny itself, but I think it's more feelsy. I think that the sub version is more feelsy than the dub, but that's just my take on it. So yeah, that was Angel Beats. I would look into the manga of Angel Beats, but it's really difficult to find, and it was published ages ago, and it's just like, I think it's like the song, but it's more, if you're going based on off the visual novel, I'd go in with that anyways. So, what's the next JoJo Sunday episode? I bet you're wondering. For now, I think we're gonna look at Aaron's 20th anniversary in September, because it's technically the 20th anniversary in September, and it's the 20th this year. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll basically be diving into the manga a bit more, and just like talking about just the manga itself. In regards to that, and just like my Aaron memories, and it's just kind of a cover up from like last year's video, so there's that. So yeah, I'll see you later for the next JoJo Sunday. Goodbye.